Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and I welcome you on this daily UPSC MCQ series. In the evening these lessons come, in the morning the Hindu analysis videos they come, so both the lessons follow religiously. Keep this compilation with you, PDF you are getting on the Facebook group daily and on the Telegram channel also, and we are referring all important sources here. So this compilation is extremely important for you people, and the importance you will feel next year. Pocket News app is trending on Google Play, you can download that regarding these courses. The description is given below the video, and you can call on these numbers, and all the website, the chat section and all the details are given here, and you can follow this group for PDF, and you will also find the Telegram channel there if you use Telegram. You can follow me on Instagram too. And first question is regarding important term, FEDER. FEDER was recently in news. What is it? Is it a spacecraft, a moon lander, a space robot, or something else? You see, Russia tried to send a robot there in space, and it named it as FEDER, and they wanted to see that if these space robots can replace humans there, because humans they put their lives in a lot of danger, and a lot of things are to be maintained there. So robots, if they can replace, then it will be the greatest thing of all. So the spacewalks and all, and some mechanical work, some mending of these spacecraft and all, and a lot of things are to be done there, and humans face a lot of difficulties there, and the threat to the life is very, very crucial. So FEDER was tried there. So in the first blasting it got failed, and second time when they launched it, then it reached up to there, but it was felt that it is not that much useful, and they are abandoning this mission because so a lot of problems they found there, like its height, the long legs, they became a huge problem there, and the answer would be C, space robot. So the FEDER mission is abandoned now. It's a humanoid robot, and the name was FEDER. So these were the problems that they found there, and it cannot fulfill its assigned task to replace human astronauts on long and risky spacewalks. So that was the issue. Next, Cryo boreas. Cryo boreas, is it a recently found amphibian species, or an invasive plant species, or is it the largest flying bird of all time? On the last page of the Hindu today, this information is there. You see, many fossils were found regarding this species, and it was there during Mesozoic era, and in the last phases when dinosaurs they started flying too, means some species were flying there. So they found this Cryo boreas there, and now they have confirmed that it was the heaviest bird and the largest flying bird of all time. 250 kilogram was its weight, and 10 meters was the wingspan there. So C is the answer, and it's a cool discovery according to them, and Cryo boreas is the name, and at that time it rivaled another pterosaur as the largest flying animal of all time, but now they have confirmed that this Cryo boreas was the largest of flying birds of all time. So that's important, because from reptiles, especially from the dinosaurs and all, two branches emerged. One went towards the development of mammals, and the second one was the aves, means the birds. So that's why it's very, very important, and it was the time of around 70-80 million years ago. Okay, next, market intervention price scheme, MIPS. Is it the scheme saving the farmers during the bumper crop issue, when they have a lot of production, and because of the overproduction they do not get their required compensation there? So is it to save those farmers in those times? That is correct, because mainly the perishable crops like the vegetables, fruits and all, if they have their bumper production there, then they fail to get right prices in a limited time. So at that time a lot of dangers are there, and they find it very, very difficult to get the right price there. So governments, they interfere there, and on the request of state governments, market intervention price scheme is implemented by Department of Agriculture. Okay, Department of Agriculture and Cooperation. So DAC is implementing that, not CACP. CACP actually only recommends the MSP prices for crops. So second is wrong, first is correct. Only one is the right answer here, and as I told you, on the request of state governments, they implement these schemes. And recently, government is planning to procure almost 12 lakh metric tons of apple this season. Means it's a bumper crop this year. So if the 10% increase is there in the production or 10% decrease in the ruling rates, then government has to interfere there. Otherwise, a lot of problems will be there for the farmers. So Department of Agriculture and Cooperation, that is implementing the scheme. And you see, during the time of losses, 50-50 basis, on this basis, state government or central government, they bear these losses. And this scheme is not a permanent scheme, ad hoc scheme, because conditions change and it is based on those conditions. CSCP, it got established in 1965 and got the present name in 1985 under Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. It works. Next, AITIGA, it was a news. AITIGA, it's a goods agreement, and it is being discussed now. Some review is gonna be there in the future for AITIGA very soon. A deal is struck for RCEP negotiations and the free trade agreement that is between India and ASEAN, as ASEAN has 10 countries and India. You see, ASEAN plus 6 countries: India, China, Japan, and Australia, New Zealand, and South Korea there. So these 6 countries plus ASEAN's 10 countries, they are undergoing into a lot of discussions regarding the RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, and it is going to be the biggest agreement, free trade agreement between these countries. And they are the biggest group if you talk about the economic terms. Then population wise, economy wise, that is going to be the biggest agreement there, but that is not finalized yet. And these things are going on for the last 4-5 years now. And this AITIG is a separate goods agreement between India and ASEAN. So the answer would be D. And they have decided to review this important agreement that was enforced in 2010. So that's really important. And many countries, they have raised concerns regarding the struck deal of RCEP, and they are saying that if India wants to join later, then it's okay, let us go forward there, because all are stuck here. But many issues are going on, and we all want to go further with this important agreement. So this ASEAN AIFTA, ASEAN India Free Trade Area, that is being reviewed now. Next, fall armyworm. A few months back, I asked you this question: is it a dangerous blood-sucking worm for humans? No, is it not a blood-sucking worm for humans. It devastates crops. It's a crop eater, and its larva stage, it's a worm, and its larva caterpillar stage is very, very dangerous for these crops, especially the maize crop. Maize is the 3rd most important crop in India, and this is a native to Americas. And first in this world, it was found, in a devastating phase, it was first found in African country. Then in India, in Karnataka state, it was found at first. So you cannot say that it's endemic to India and it was found first in Karnataka. It is actually native to Americas and it was found in Africa. So both the statements are wrong here. And it eats a lot. It devours a lot of amount of crops in fields, and multiple crops it can feed on. And it flies with a very fast pace. In a night, it can cross many kilometers. So that's why it's a very fast danger for a wide area, and it eats a lot. So that's why it has become the biggest danger in some areas, like in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, all these southern states. It devastated many crops, especially the maize crops, sugarcane crops. Now in Bihar also it was found. So D9 is the answer. Both the statements are wrong here. You can see this is the caterpillar stage and the larva stage where it eats a lot. Okay, the larva emerge between 14 to 28 days and burrow into maize crop, and after development crawl to ground to pupate in the soil for 7 to 14 days. And warm climates are very much supportive for that. And the metamorphosis you can see here, and how it spreads very fast. And it is native of tropical and subtropical regions of Americas, means the Central and the Southern American parts. And first detected in African continent in 2016, but they found out that it's a native to Americas. Okay, but in India reported for the first time in Karnataka, and within a span of only 6 months it is spread to almost 50% of the country's geographical area in all these states. So that's really dangerous. And it's polyphagous, means is able to feed on different kinds of foods. Okay, so that's the greatest danger here. Next, Sardar Sarovar Dam. Many controversies are always going on regarding Sardar Sarovar Dam, and in the last 2 decades we have seen many issues. Narmada Bachao Andolan was there. Medha Patkar was crucial for this Andolan, and the heights, they were raised 2-3 times. Right now in 2017 they raised the height to 138 meters now, and due to that a lot of submergence has been there for many villages, and many vegetations, many jungles and agricultural areas, they all are submerged. So that's why it's dangerous there. And this dam is the second biggest dam in terms of volume of concrete they have used in it. So second biggest in terms of concrete, and it is not funded by Asian Development Bank. It is actually funded by IBRD, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. It is the arm of World Bank Group. Okay, so supported and funded by World Bank, not by Asian Development Bank, and this is also wrong because it is the second biggest dam. So D1 is the answer here, and 3 states are going to get the electricity which is being produced with this dam, and the present height is 138.98 meters. And you see, it was the project was laid out by Prime Minister Nehru on 5th of April 1961, but after that a lot of troubles it went through, and many blockages were there, and now many things are decided. It will be having the capacity of 1450 megawatt of electricity production, and 57% will go to Maharashtra, 27% will go to Maharashtra 27%, Madhya Pradesh 57%, and 16% is the Gujarat's share for electricity there. So they may ask you about these details. It's a gravity dam if they ask you about the type. Next, droughts affect 42% of India's land, and another 6% is exceptionally dry plain. That's a right statement. That's a correct statement. You see, the UNCCD's COP14 is going on, and where all these discussions are going on, the main issue is the land degradation and the drought conditions and the deforestation. So that's why these are important issues, and they have suggested regarding a drought management policy commission for India. So both the statements are correct here. C, both is the answer here, and that's correct. 42% is drought affected land, and yesterday I was telling you that around 30% is the degraded land in India, where we have pledge in the Bone challenge there in 2015. So that's a separate issue, and this drought affected land is a separate issue. But a lot of areas of these lands that will be common there. So that's the case, and this is the 10-point framework that they have suggested, and the first suggestion is the Drought Management Policy Commission for India. Okay, next, Basel Ban Amendment. In 1995, the Basel Convention, is it regarding banking standard, species conservation, or trade of endangered plants, or regarding the hazardous waste and its impact on human and environment? So the answer would be D. And this amendment was regarding this hazardous waste. You see, we have been talking a lot about the plastics and all, and that's the issue going on for this year, the most important one. But this is regarding the hazardous waste and the impact of it on the human health and the environment conditions there. So Basel Convention was regarding that, and the parties to that convention, they adopted this amendment. And you many times hear about the banking standards and all these things like Basel norms. So those are Basel norms. This is Basel ban. Okay, so answer would be D, and the description is given here. Recently Croatia ratified this, and it has become the 97th country, and that is fulfilling the condition